No, I was saying when you were like, oh, we're making revisions, I said, all right, well, I'll be sure and vote no on exhibits A through F. So I don't even know exactly which one it was. Blanket, no. Yes, yeah.
Everybody ready? Anyone? Hi, Scarlett. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. This is the Village of Biscayne Park Planning and Design Review Board for Monday, May 20th, 2024. It is now 6:30. I'll do the roll call. Edward Leyva. Here. Scarlett Hammond.
Here.
David Gruen.
Here.
Gay Chartung is here. Let's go to the residents that are here, and we'll go in order of the agenda. So first will be old business 5A, 665 Northeast 117th Street, walkway and gravel driveway. Actually has a bunch of different. We'll do all three. There's actually a new business 5A, 6A. So let's go with the first one, walkway and gravel driveway. And if you're here, hi.
Hey, can you please go?
If you'd like, you can go up to the microphone if we have any questions. And I'm sorry, I forgot that Denisha's here from the building. Sorry, I mean to overlook you. All right. Lot coverage 39. And 16. Right, so we tabled this the last time because there was some question on lot coverage and then we didn't really have an application, I don't think, for a driveway. It was for like this little pad on the right-hand side or something to do with the walkway. I think it was just the walkway. Okay,
I think my only concern is off of the page 11 out of 13. The pad as it goes on the far right doesn't have a 30-inch gap to the property indicated.
okay, that's a good point. Also, it doesn't show it going out to the street. It looks like it just goes to the property line. Is this drawn to the street or to the property line? 'Cause if you look at the way SP 100 is drawn, page 11, can I just have you go to the microphone real quick, just please? Okay, thank you.
The comment that I saw on the first meeting we had or we were in were about the documentation, a documentation that was missing. It wasn't about this. I'm sorry, I'm not the architect, I'm the permit runner. I'm representing the architect and the owner here. And it's to answering your question is to the property line.
Yeah, because the issue is if you look at the
Okay, it's
street view thing, there's a gap there, and so the drawings representative of basically matching.
Yeah,
okay. So the reason why it was tabled at the last meeting was because they were missing the front yard lot calculations and more clarification needed regarding the driveway intent. So the front yard lot calculations was uploaded, I believe, on page 5 or 6 of the PDF, and it was missed when you guys scrolled down.
yeah, well, we got that now, but the question I think the last time is they were applying for the pad in the back and the walkway in the front,
It's two separate permits.
but they didn't have anything about the driveway at the time, so we were like, well, you look like you're pretty much at your lot coverage, if not over your lot coverage on the front driveway. So we didn't want to go near the driveway until we got clarification of all your intent on the front. Because there was
Okay.
a walkway, but there wasn't a driveway, so you know, you have a 40% lot coverage on the front, so we wanted to make sure that you didn't come back and then say, oh, well, you know, I want to do the rest.
That's okay.
So David made a point that yes, there is an issue with on the drawing number 2, proposed site plan, you have a 30-inch side setback from the property line. It's not reflected on the drawing. And then also these driveways need to have an approach to the street, and they're not showing that.
Okay, these comments are very new for me. I don't know if they're on the,
Well, we had no comments on the driveway because we didn't have a driveway permit the last time.
the driveway permit was always there.
So at the last time, she had 2 separate permits, one for the patio in the back and then one for the driveway and the walkway in the front. This one was tabled because you needed more information regarding the driveway intent.
Yeah, but I think the last time the description was only for the walkway, didn't mention the driveway.
And there was nothing about a driveway.
So.
On the
so we
application,
didn't- Last time we didn't necessarily review the compliance of the driveway. So now we are reviewing it, missing the approach, missing the setback. It's also at 52% coverage over the 40% allowed. Calculations say 10% because they're doing pervious gravel, but
I'm sorry, on the permit application form for the driveway, it says, the description says new concrete for the main access and previous gravel driveway. That's the description on the application form. Okay. From the very beginning, we applied for only one exterior remodeling application. And then I was direct to apply for 4 applications, which were the exterior of the house, the driveway, the patio pad, and the fence. And I applied for all of them at the same time. They have been always there. So even the fence, the government, well, we can go to that one later. But these comments that I'm listening right now are new for me. You just explained it because you didn't revise it before. But the documents were always there. We have been waiting for this meeting from last month, the meeting before, no, the one before, which no comments.
Well, there's 2 other permits that we're deciding on. This is the only one that there's an issue on because we haven't looked at the
No.
next one has to do with a wooden fence.
But I'm trying just to explain the fact that the 4 permits have been always there from the beginning. All the documentation have been always there. So
Okay.
it is not like I applied for only 2 permits first and then.
That's fine, but whoever should have done it should have realized, hey, all of the code says that the driveway, for instance, has to go out to the street. That you can't have 10 feet of swale that
Yeah,
doesn't have.
that,
So
no, that's. fine.
unfortunately, like we can't, based off of the drawing, there's violations in 3 different ways. 1 is total coverage, 2 is not going all the way out to the street, and 3, it needs to have a 30-inch gap from the side setback. That pad that's over on the far right probably needs to shrink to get you to the exact 40% coverage. And if it was any one of those, maybe, except for the fact that the drawing's not compliant, maybe we could try and issue a conditional permit. But the biggest problem is the 52% coverage when it has to be below 40%.
I completely understand that. My point is that this came to the meeting, like to this meeting a month ago. And the only comment I had, or we had, was that one document was missing, the driveway calculation. And these comments are
Is
completely new.
over
for
by
us.
12%. So if that had been there a month ago, we would have been saying what we're saying now of, hey, you're over by 12%. You're not even.
Okay,
close.
now this comment that we are analyzing now, I'm gonna have it on the website so the architect can review them because they weren't there before.
Yes, it's on,
Okay.
it's been on Municode since,
No, I'm,
our comments this evening, she said.
oh, yes, they'll be uploaded because unfortunately we have to motion to deny it, but we'll stipulate the 3 reasons why. That as soon as we have a drawing that extends, a drawing that shows a 30% gap, and probably that pad on the right is shrank so that the updated calculations has you under 40%, then you don't
We're
even
at
need to show up.
40%.
no, it's fine.
Two different issues. One, this is intended as a parking area, it looks like, right? And it needs to be away from the property line by a minimum of 30 inches. So it can't go all the way to the property line. So it has to come back here, right? Number one. Number two, obviously the street is out here, right? So this driveway and this parking area would have to extend out to the street, right? Otherwise, how do you get to it? Grass to get to, it, right? That's number two. And number three is you have to calculate unfortunately, this form, and I know it's my homework, I haven't done it yet, this form's a little misleading, it talks about pervious and impervious, we don't really care about that. We care about improved areas and non-improved areas, right? So even though this is gravel, and therefore theoretically it's pervious, it still counts as your coverage. So you would have to add up the square footage of this area, add up the square footage of these various concrete walkways, add up the square footage of this, compare that to the square footage of the front yard and not exceed 40%. Right now it's over 50. And then you do the same calculation for the square footage out here in the right of way or in the approach. So the 40% rule as well. So, you know, those are the three primary things that we're seeing.
And what type?
Part
of
of your,
And my question also is, what type of gravel is it? Just white gravel? I mean, is it a marble? Is it a limestone? Is it a slate?
Order the gravel color and the description on the website, on the portal.
Yeah, it just says white gravel. So
Doesn't really say what it is.
go to the code section, it stipulates like size that it can be and the various types of gravel that we approve. So I would just have the architect go to the meeting code.
Okay.
See that, make sure what you're proposing matches. Identify it here, it's this type of gravel and it's this size.
Okay, no problem.
So it's like four things, like gravel type, setback, the lot coverage.
Okay, I got it. No problem.
yeah, I mean, part of it is just you're at the 40%, that house is at a slight disadvantage. It's an advantage in one way because it's only at a 24 feet setback. Whereas the code says it's supposed to be 30 feet, which is fine because it's an existing house. But it means that you have a smaller box that the 40% has to fit in because instead of 30 feet by the cross, it's 24 feet. So
Okay,
it just makes it a little tougher.
I got it.
So I would, I'll
Table it again.
Want to table it or, because we gave her the feedback or?
we can do either, but you should have her here to be able to write it off. So that way we don't miss. Or I can write it, I can write out the.
So just let's table it and then when she comes in, we'll repeat it to her. I don't know what happened to her.
All right, and I'm gonna email her right now too, what the 4 reasons.
Can I get a motion first before you email?
Motion to table.
Okay.
Second.
Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye, aye. Okay, so it's tabling. So the next is gonna be 5B 665 Northeast 117th Street, wooden fence. And so it's the next,
But I think that was mine, so.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, no, she's got 3 permits. It's a 6-foot wood fence. Do we know the type of fence? SP 110, it says C. See detail on sheet SP 110. It doesn't tell us what type of fence it is. Ma'am, what, do you know what type of fence it is? Like what style?
I think it's a regular wood fence. The
Yeah, but
typical
it's-
fence, yeah.
It's, you know, if you said it's a 6-foot picket fence, then there's not a question. But if you say if it's a 6-foot horizontal fence, and that's probably why we tabled it, we need to know how big the gaps are. You know, and right now you just have the wood fence detail, and let me make sure I'm seeing this correctly. And that's probably why we tabled it the last time, was there's just,
I mean, detail says wood pickets, right? So that's vertical, and then the note 2 says gap shall not exceed 1 3/4 inches for.
no, but we need to have an idea what the fence is, not just reference to a pamphlet that the village hands out as a detail.
Right, and it should have a note about the good side facing out.
And what, thank you.
There.
And what kind of finish is on it? Or do you know what type of style or?
The color of the fence is the same as the, of the exterior of the house, the exterior of the house. I upload a picture also about the fence color.
Yeah, it does note 9 on the key legend says, go 6-foot wood fence, detail, et cetera, paint to match new siding color.
Yeah, there's no upload of a color.
I'm sorry?
The color did not come through on the upload.
I checked all the documents this afternoon before coming, and it should be there because I have it
Yeah, I
printed
just-
here. I upload this document this afternoon. I mean, is there,
I mean, there is a color rendering
it
of the
should
house.
be,
Um,
is this style, is this color, the fence? The color of the proposed exterior.
Right.
Do you find it?
It also seems like it's only along the side property,
It's on the west side only.
not even facing the front. So
no, I
literally just between them and their
get it, but
neighbor.
you know, the inspectors go out there and they're looking for what we approved. And if we're not approving anything, we're just approving a cross-section detail that has a couple notes on it. That's, you know, it's gonna come back on us. So I just think the applicant should at least know what style fence they want when they're applying for it. So,
Do you mind if I call the architect so we can have that information?
sure. I mean, all we need to know is picket, horizontal, shadow box, you know, and we can note it. So, did you get the motion? on the-
No,
I
I'm assuming you guys
forwarded
tabled
the
it.
email with the 4.
We tabled it with four questions or issues. Okay. So while she's doing that, we also do have 6A, 665 Northeast 117th Street. It's under new business, stucco repair.
Pancho, ¿qué tipo de cerca es la que están poniendo aquí de madera, pero qué tipo de cerca, qué modelo?
The stucco repair and paint white.
¿Eh?
And paint white.
Sí, ¿qué tipo de cerca es la que están poniendo acá? ¿Qué modelo de cerca?
Flat stucco. So they're just repairing it. That's pretty.
Motion to approve.
Motion, okay.
Sí, pero hay que
Second,
saber-
Ed David, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Pero los paneles, no sé qué, un detalle típico de la cerca, o sea, es un nombre, si es un picket fence, o sea, es un no sé qué. No, es una sección lo que hay, ellos no ven el detalle típico de la cerca, ¿dónde está? Sí, pero la descripción no les sirve, ellos quieren saber el detalle con la cerca, cuál es. ¿Cuáles son las separaciones cuáles son las separaciones de las tablitas, tú sabes?
No. All right, so we're gonna come back to 5B. I'm gonna
los
call
planos que
5C
también
right now.
nos
It's
presentan.
824 Northeast 111th Street. Revision to PB 2313 HQH Biscayne Park LLC.
Ok, yo les digo ahora. Ok.
Right? Do we have that one here? 624? Okay. You have drawings for us? Okay, if you just want to set it there. Ma'am, really quickly, while he's setting up, do you have an answer for us?
Said is the typical wood fence, but with no gap between the planks.
So it's a horizontal fence?
It's very vertical.
Vertical. Okay, so it's a vertical wood fence.
Motion approved 5B.
That's David Ed. All in favor, say aye. Aye. A motion carries. Okay, we're good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, so back to 824 Northeast 11th Street. The revision. Like in mid-construction on it? We are.
No, this one just started. Just started. We're gonna be doing, initiatives. Why don't you go ahead, and explain to him, just give them this.
So this just clarified, this is something we've already approved.
That is correct.
Okay. And were you adding
Any
construction?
chance you have what we approved?
What we're doing here, basically, if you can see clearly, in the one that was previously approved.
But it's very simple.
To start off with, it's right here in the center. Notice that extended,
Name, address.
Uh,
For the record.
Ricardo Larga Espada, project manager at Angel Seaside Architects.
Address.
100, oh, wait. That's not the right address.
Not that
It's,
Here, look.
oh, my mistake, 12360 Southwest 132nd Court, Suite 216.
That's
Yeah.
your office address, but okay.
Okay.
Aren't we this one?
That is correct.
The job site address is 824 Northeast 11th Street. Okay,
Yes.
okay, so let's talk to us. What are you doing?
Okay, so what we're doing here, to start off is, in the center, we have, this plan right here was what originally was approved. Notice that we have it at
Get your fingers out of there.
No, I can see.
19 feet, 9.5. And in the new one, we've expanded it, which is now at 28 feet and 5 inches.
So you haven't gotten any closer to the setbacks?
No, no,
Okay, it just made it longer.
that's correct.
Did it affect your lot coverage?
No.
No.
it has not
Okay.
affected the lot
In
coverage.
fact, we are exactly where we still need to be.
Okay,
Below the 50% max threshold.
In a nutshell, all we did was we increased, I shouldn't say increased, but we moved the foyer about 7 feet out. And then we increased the family 6 feet out, still way within our setbacks here.
okay.
Show them setbacks.
So 30 to 24.
That's
30 to
Okay,
24.
and that's all the changes we have today.
But you just basically shifted it, so you didn't really change your lot
Correct.
coverage.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is the maximum.
Only to enhance the front, to do this to it. Because we actually had an overhang at the front,
Yeah,
but it was low. We just raised it to incorporate a more volumetric entrance. Correct. And then we just increased 6 feet at the family room because we were 6 feet short. And that's really all we've done.
Can we see what it looks like, the elevations?
that's,
You changed this? Is this? the
That drop-
original one
yes,
that
that's
you
correct.
added now?
That vertical
Side.
piece, that's correct.
I guess this got approved before the code change, right? Because they've got 63 linear feet without a change. of-
yeah, I believe
Second
this
floor.
was approved. But that was last August, so I haven't
Yes.
seen you since probably
Exactly.
before then, so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
From July.
Hell, you have a lot of facial hair success like us.
I got gray, that's what happened. So yeah, so this is 728, the new code was back in, August. But since they're not really a change of design, it's just a shifting of the lot. I don't think that we would need to go back and retro apply the new code.
This is the floor plan. Yeah,
And if you're doing additional homes in the park, you do know our code changed a little bit, so,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't affect you because you got in before.
Not on this one, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the stars align, we might have another 3 coming up.
Cause you're doing the one on 8th.
Correct.
100 and,
11143, correct. How do you guys like that one?
looks,
Yeah, it's nice.
Are you the one around the corner too?
Yeah, this is the one.
This
around
is the
The
one
one around the
corner.
corner, this one
Yes.
you cleared the lot?
Yes.
Correct. This is the one around the corner. Yes.
Okay.
This is
Previous.
the previous one. Notice that,
So this grew here.
yep, it grew over there and also grew over here. It's like, not much of a field, but two.
I mean, they're.
But- And it is here in the back, right here. Well, we extended 6 feet.
I mean, that's the only thing. So they are sort of exacerbating, the code doesn't allow, it, right? So on the side where they've got, because that's on your second floor, you extended that, right?
It's on the
Or on the
ground,
first
it's
floor.
on the ground, it's the ground floor.
So what happened on the second floor? Did this length grow or is it remaining the same?
Because since we did shift it a little bit, we did move it out a little more, but not too.
So you're.
We shifted things in the back just 6 feet over.
Yeah, the problem is you. Right, the code now would not allow you to go more than 30 feet at the second level at the minimum setback, before having to step back 5 feet. And you're going right now 63 feet, more than twice what the current code allows. And it sounds like you're growing that, right? So
But we're stepping it-
50.
That's a terrace, I think. I think is what you're seeing.
No, but the issue is on the side setback, right? So you have a straight wall.
Right here,
This wall
right
here,
here.
that's just
Yes.
63 feet of straight wall would not be allowed anymore. So it seems like you had 57 feet, wouldn't be allowed anymore. But to ask for 6 more feet, I think is a bit of an issue, right? You are, so like, no one would make you go back and say, hey, you got this approved, no problem, right? Lucky you got it under the wire. But to make the condition worse by coming back to a revision, I think that's exactly increasing the non-conformance that you got approved of. So I guess the question is how much, again, this stuff in here is not non-issue, right? You're not creating any further non-compliance, but growing this you are.
No, yeah, I mean, we just think that this would enhance the flow of the house on the interior, especially on the ground floor.
No, and be that as it may, the issue is that. right,
This is
you're
not
asking
the
board to
issue.
accept
It's-
Increasing something that we wouldn't currently allow, you already. I love you, whatever version. But to increase that 6 feet. It's something the board shouldn't be open to.
I would respectfully request that, since we're still complying with everything that we had compliant before, and that we're actually aesthetically improving the flow of the, especially the family area, which is a large.
You keep, be happy with what was originally approved on the second story. The point is that the loan purchase is still. Okay, I mean, you can go back to the design, but that's back by. Everyone that comes to us now, a two-story project, on the second floor, they have to repeat them. If you want to increase your roof size, you can do that. And what are the not exacerbate enough fun to let them two? Well, the question is, this last 6 feet that you're adding, could you bump that in somehow, keep your roof size, and just bring this in from 11 to 11. And, make it 15. So I know that you guys, I'm sure it's that, it's hard pressed, but obviously.
This project has ground. And the foundations are already.
But,
We're only talking about second story.
but not only that, but are you suggesting that your foundations have been designed and poured based on something that you were hoping to get approved but haven't been approved?
No,
If
they
that's
haven't
what
been
you're
poured.
saying, that's
They
on
haven't,
you,
that
right?
they haven't been poured.
Gotcha. So,
No, I'm just letting
I
you know where
understand.
we're at so that we all
Yeah, yeah.
understand. You know.
and we're, all well, you know, most of us in the business, we understand,
Yeah.
you know, it's, time is money. But we also have a responsibility as a board to say, hey,
No, this is why we're all here gathered around the table to do the right thing and we're
what
just.
Gage is trying to help is say, okay, no one's going to touch the 57 feet that you got grandfathered. If you want to keep growing because you want more square footage on that second floor, set it back 5 feet. I don't know how elegant it is to step back for 5 feet, for 6 feet. But
No, the
it
rooms wouldn't work
sounds
either.
like, then at least we could say, hey, the extra length that they asked for, they complied with the current code, so we can live with the grandfather at 57 feet. You get 6 more feet of length, but it's 5 feet back.
I don't think the rooms would work at that point either. You know, they're not that large to begin with. These are very expensive homes that we all know we're all trying to build out. And then. trying
I
to
mean,
sell it.
somehow the rooms all worked, right? A year ago, whenever you got approved originally. Like, everyone, you're the architect, you're the PM, you're the owner or developer, I guess, right? And rooms worked then, you want to make it bigger.
Well, you as an
Hey,
architect
figure
know,
out.
we can work 10 by 10 rooms even, you know, as well. But, obviously, in this size of home, we're trying to make them a little bit more comfortable. Less rooms, less buyers. Then. Less rooms, less buyers. I mean, we're obviously, yeah. Well, you know that that's exactly what everybody wants, so,
I mean,
uh,
you know, again, I think, I don't speak for everyone, but we're saying, I'm saying personally, 57 foot of length on the setback at second floor, okay, no one's gonna take that away. You wanna make it longer? Come up with a way. I don't know, maybe that walk-in closet is not 7 feet wide, right? Maybe that's where you put your.
Yeah, that's to say, you could actually
Pick
do
up-
your bump in
Yeah, do your bump in somewhere not.
in the middle of the house,
It's
in the
critical.
property. Keep your 57 feet overall
And
length.
frankly, it's probably more
and-
elegant of design to not just notch the corner, but to maybe have and we prefer that, right? Because now for us, as the
You have-
board,
you-
you're breaking up that facade.
You have 2 walk-in closets here that maybe
Which
you
one is
could,
less value? Notch that one, notch this one. Do your 5 foot setback in there. Again, you're lucky because you're already 11, so you're, you know, already a little bit further setback than you need to be. Slightly smaller closet, but you get the bigger rooms, bigger bathrooms.
so you're
everything
saying
matters.
if we break that wall,
If you don't exceed net of 50, whatever you originally got approved, I'm saying 57, but it could be slightly different. If you don't exceed the 57 foot at the second floor that doesn't step back, then we say, okay, you had that 57, we'll give it to you. If you want to grow it, that part, that extra linear feet has to be set back, but you can do it in the middle, at the end, front. So if this doesn't work here, right, because you got a bathroom.
mean,
so
you
it's a
have-
weird place to notch it here.
you do have 2 closets that you could break up that second floor wall with, what is the width here? 4'5" and 4'5"? So you have,
You tweak that a little bit to get 5 feet.
and actually
And
you would be,
whatever it is you're
and then
growing
you would
the
actually,
length.
you would actually come into compliance more with the.
Well,
the
with the
code.
intent, right? Because now what we want is, we don't want 60 uninterrupted feet of second floor. So you actually are improving what we're designing, which is breaking that up somewhere in the middle. Great, then we're all happy, you know,
And,
food for thought.
and also some houses find those little niches good for their outside air conditioning.
Yeah, ground floor, can someone tuck it in, you
Tuck
got
it
a
in.
corner window on those bedrooms.
Then you still get your kind of
Yeah.
nice space on the side to walk through.
so we need to break this, and the fact that this is almost 12 feet, we're 3 feet short.
Exactly, so you're only, fortunately for you, having to notch in or step back 3 feet, or whatever it takes to get you to 50.
So the fact that we have 11 on the other side, we can actually push that one all to 10.
You can shift the whole house over at that point. You've got
Shift
more
to 10.
than-
And now we're only 2 feet.
I mean, I don't know what that does to your foundation for in a few days, but yeah,
Well,
you could shift the whole house.
Depends how big
Now you're,
those
now
holes are.
you're, you know, 13 foot setback on one side, and you're just gonna notch it 2
It is-
feet
it's-
somewhere in the elevation.
It depends on how big those stem wall, if they're oversized and we shift them.
So that's an option, right? Now you have a very small notation, but you're 5 foot back, it's 10
And-
plus 5 back.
And what does that separation, that break need to be? If it's 5 foot away from the property line,
The length needs to be whatever you're adding in length, to what you got approved before. The width of that niche, right? So, right? You had before, I'm just saying, 57 feet, I don't know what it is really, right?
Okay, yeah.
You want now to
6
make
more.
it 63 feet, whatever.
Right.
So you're adding 6 foot, so somewhere, wherever you desire, you need to cut away 6 feet. So that the net linear footage of facade that's not set back doesn't exceed what you got.
Only in the
approved
second
before.
floor.
Only.
Oh, it's only talking about the second floor.
You might
and-
wanna do it the whole way, just so you don't have a weird roof, but you know.
Yeah,
up
and
to
the,
you.
and the main thing is that this has to be 15 feet.
What is it?
15.
Property line.
From the
Oh, I got you.
Has to be ten
Five.
plus the additional five. which
And
would
we are
be-
at 11,
Yeah,
or what are 12?
Yeah.
you're 11 and something, so you're already a little bit,
So we're,
Yeah, we're not to the
and
extent.
that's you saying if you shift your entire house, because it sounds like you're also greater than 10 feet on the other side. Shift everything over, now you're probably 13 feet, so now it's only a 2 foot little notch. in the-
Before we say that, I'll just make sure.
Yeah,
How high is the first floor on the second, on the other side? It's,
because you have a double height, but that doesn't look.
it
more
doesn't
than
look
18.
like it's over 18.
No, this was, in fact, we brought this house down another foot.
Because if this single story was greater than 18 foot, you'd get the same stuff, start setting back.
So can we proffer a motion that we approve all the ground floor level changes? And that will come back for another visit to the second floor.
Yeah, I don't know how we pick apart the floor plans, right? Because those floor plans, are based on additional second floor plan. I think if your concern is that you don't want to stop things that are happening out there, I think you understand sort of what needs to happen, right, for the board to approve. For me, I don't speak for the whole board.
I guess in practicality, is there another inspection that you have to clear between now and when you're doing the floor? Because like we can't say, oh yeah, we can approve the first floor, not approving the second floor. But if there's not another inspection and you're like, hey, you basically have the word of us that ground floor will be fine, but we have to see the second floor to match.
It's only the electrical, just the.
Yeah,
ground.
and I don't think anything we're talking about here is gonna stop. I mean, I wish the inspectors are that thorough, but they're.
Let me ask you this, if we broke up, if he took what he's asking for today and did A, B, C, and we approved A and B, and they come back for C in 2 weeks for another revision permit for C, and we just say, all we're doing is approving A and B,
Yeah, that's all I'm asking.
If you're comfortable saying the ground, we don't have any objection to the changes to the first floor.
but that's also not, unless you commit to now saying we're gonna move it. This is saying, we're just making the changes on the first floor, A and B. So, and then C is tabled, and then it's not approved, let's basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're all professionals. The problems, we've had this before, we is try to help people out by approving and then we get screwed because they go do whatever and then it's poorly recorded what got approved, what didn't get approved, but
No, but I can't.
you're here, you got multiple projects. and
I can't.
It's not in your interest to try to
Yeah.
Oh,
pull a
yeah.
fast one.
Pull a
so-
fast one on you guys? Are you kidding me? I've been
No,
doing
we
this for
don't-
53 years in this town. I can't do this. I
Yeah,
can't do
so
it
again,
other than the right way.
there's nothing that you're changing on the first floor that I think there's any issue, with, right? It's just the second floor.
Yeah, we're-
So if
we're-
you wanna
We meet everything.
pull the second floor for now and you're only asking to revise the second floor. It's fine.
And then I can take a quick look tomorrow to see what I can modify. And we might have a good solution there.
Just, I guess, are you also changing this whole elevation? Because you gave us these. And these look not very, but they do look different, right? So this is, I'm assuming what got approved and this is new or vice versa?
No, it's the same, other than we raised the,
I mean, it's not the same, right? Because this whole parapet thing doesn't exist here.
Yeah, that's what we
This is like an L now.
that's the only two things. We
Yeah.
changed the growth, I'll say the porch.
Yeah, so
We
this
just
is,
raised
I'm
it.
just asking, this is new. This is
Yes.
what you want.
That's
What you wanna
correct.
do,
This is what's being.
Yeah, so we're
that's
also
correct.
reviewing, I suppose.
So
to
this is
some
the new
degree
one?
this.
Yes,
Oh, I thought it was reversed.
This is the new one.
this is the new one because we had the front porch too low. We had to raise it. And then we just dropped an L because Sebastian liked the L.
So you're adding an eyebrow.
No, the eyebrow was there. The eyebrow was there.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
That was there
a bit
too.
more.
Oh, it is there, okay.
Yeah, that was there. It's just
Yeah.
the drop on the side here.
Yeah, I mean, eyebrow is, I guess, this thing here.
Correct.
Change into the front. of the
Yeah,
house.
so you just want this to feel more like a grand entry
That's
by not
correct.
having a low
Yeah,
eyebrow
that's
there.
correct.
Yes. yes.
Then we just dropped this one.
So again, are we approving the front elevation change and the first floor change, but not the second floor change?
Yeah, because this happens over the entrance. Okay. And then the only thing that I need to come back and look at is the 57 versus the 6 foot that we drew. Hell, if we can figure out that the bedrooms are what they are, then we just leave it that way.
Or you pick a little niche out of the closet, break up that facade in the middle, and
Yeah.
we're very happy at that point.
And,
Helps.
and yeah, okay,
Your neighbor's happy, they
Yeah.
have,
15
2 30-foot walls
and
instead of
6
one
feet
60
because that's
foot
what we're
wall.
growing, yeah. I think it's a great idea.
Motion to approve first floor changes and front elevation changes only, second floor is tabled for revision.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
He's like, guys done talking, tell me what that.
Okay, I'll let.
Record all that?
Yeah.
Motion, Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Everyone
Thank you.
agrees.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks. You have a question?
I'm just,
Oh.
my vote's no. I just like it to be clean, but I guess you guys got the votes anyway, so.
Yeah. I felt pressured, Scarlett, otherwise I'm on your.
All right, guys, thank you. Take your time. What's the easiest way for me to get a hold of you guys? Have to fill your sketch, make sure it's through before we get that.
I'll have to go through the village. Can't
So-
come directly.
Thank you. You want these? Yes.
And can I ask, can you commit to coming back in 2 weeks with the changes? Okay, so that it doesn't get like lost in translation. Thank you. All right, next will be 5E 1114 Northeast 117th Street, gravel driveway, Bravo. Just 1 second, please.
Sure.
Oh, so it didn't have the pavers the first time
And it hadn't gone all the way out to the street.
and it didn't go all the way to the street, yeah.
And it has the rock type.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Gravel collection.
Except for, fortunately, it specifically references 57 Rock, which is.
It's-
Basically construction gravel.
Oh, I thought 57 was like me. I mean, that's what I put on my driveway all the time at the farm.
Isn't 57 the road rock, basically?
Yeah, it's pretty much construction use road rock. Didn't.
We have permit stuff that says you can't do 57?
It says you can't use.
Well,
road rock.
yeah. And we also have like size limitations and 57 is usually bigger.
Did you pick 57 because of, from the last time that it was here?
Last time I didn't have that.
Oh, okay, you didn't have one?
But it even says it is, I'm sorry, David, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I don't,
Well, I don't know. It says like it's the most used on driveways and
yeah. No, that's the thing, is the definition's like, hey, this is the one that you use for driveways, so I can understand his degree of confusion.
so what's the number? Like the,
So it says the top layer of dense grade gravel, such as pea gravel, Jersey Shore gravel, marble chips, limestone gravel, or river rock with average diameter of 3/8 inches to 3/4 inches.
But it doesn't have a number sign.
Yeah, but then it does go on to say it specifically prohibits use of a certain type of gravel. I'm not trying- The used wherein the term gravel does not include crushed limestone, which is prohibited parking surface. So, Ed, your opinion that 57 is? Huh?
57 Rock.
So, So, well, I'm just trying to get, so are we, if we want smaller stuff, then it needs to be 67, number 4 or number 34? If somebody is specifying by a, 'cause those are the only ones that are smaller. If somebody's specifying by a number.
Because 57 is, yeah, and that's what I was trying to find, inch to an inch and a half, like, is the
Yeah,
average size of 57 rock.
well, it says 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. Whereas 67 is 3/4 inch to small. They don't seem to have a number in between the two.
Well, I think it's supposed to be finer, so isn't that?
Yeah,
57
67 is 3/4 inch to smaller, whereas 57 is 1/2 inch to inch.
Are you willing to go to a different gravel? We could probably move this along quickly or.
If you let me know the number,
That's what I'm saying, like, if we're gonna push into a specific number, then kind of, like, 67 is the only thing that's smaller, like 3/4 inch to smaller, that is the only thing that's listed on this website as like,
So, but you're saying 57 and the thing is actually saying that it's more than 3/4.
Yeah, it's,
well, it's 1/2 inch to 1.5. It has to be, the size of the rocks are in between those two ranges, 1/2 inch and inch. And then.
So there's a possibility that it's going to be above 3.
it's a sieve, right? So it's up to an inch and a half, because that's what it allows through. So you can have, forget how small it is, because you can have you can have, 1/8 stones in a sieve, but it's going to allow inch and a half size stone, which is twice what our code wants for the maximum stone size. That's the issue.
So if we just have him amend it to 67, which is the top edge is 3/4 inch, then it's fine, right?
If that's what, I don't know what 57, that 67 stone is in their code.
Yeah.
That's the sieve size for 67 stone, sure.
So
Are you willing to do a 67?
is that the only one?
Well, I mean, you can,
I-
you can also do, you can do pea gravel, Jersey Shore gravel, marble chips. This just happens to be the type of gravel that is commonly used like on roads.
Yeah, but it
And
goes by
that's-
numbers, so anything between 67 and,
it doesn't seem like there is like numbers that are in between. It seems like it's 57 or 67.
okay.
It's kind of crazy, but I've moved like 30 tons of 57 on my farm, and I didn't know that there was.
No, that's what I see all
57,
around.
because I never got it
It's
before.
like-
Yeah, so this code was, the gravel was tightened up last August, mainly because of the fact that we were trying to avoid people using the cheapest form of gravel, which is 57, because it doesn't really wear well, it breaks down, it starts, it's not really meant as a permanent parking surface per se. It's really an underlayment, usually for another material. So.
So it's 67 and,
Let's put it, I don't believe we are inclined to approve a 57. At least I'm not. Based on your testimony that it's actually going to be up to 1.5 inches. So, in our code says 3/4. So, it's going to be larger than what's approved.
Yeah, so it'd either be 67 or one of the examples that Gage read that's listed in the code.
okay,
So we can approve it saying that, and then you can look at the list on the Muni code thing and Google and decide which one it is that you like. That makes sense. So motion to approve pending gravel change to size 67 or smaller, or from the approved list.
Are we looking for them to come back in 2 weeks? Huh? Are we looking for them to come back with that material to approve it?
I kind of,
Just asking.
yeah, I don't think so, because just personal experience, the amount of code compliance stuff and time that these driveway guys are taking.
Was that a motion or not?
Yes.
A
it was a
second.
motion.
Mhm. Okay, David, Scarlett, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. You understand?
yeah, so do I have to come back or not?
No.
I don't
No.
know.
Oh, it just, you're gonna get yelled at if when that shows up, and if it's giant size of frisbee sized stones, then they're gonna be like.
So we approved 67. So you need to upload a new documentation saying that you are going to do 67. They're not going to issue the permit until that
It's
condition
something
is met of the approval.
Okay.
So basically, right now you uploaded 57, you just have to upload a document that says you're doing 67.
Copy.
But you don't have to come back.
You don't have to come back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, next will be 5F, 11370 Northeast 8th Avenue, concrete driveway, Marino. Just 1 second, sir, please.
Mhm.
All right, your lot coverage 33 and 25. Three-foot setback from the side property line. Why did we table this last time? I think it was,
I think
It had gravel in the swale and that was not allowed, so we took that out.
it's allowed, just not to the extent that you have.
Okay.
So what's your plan for that?
We just eliminated it completely. We're
Sod
gonna put
over it.
salt, yeah.
Motion to approve?
David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Very good, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
working with us. All right, next be 5G, 11927 Northeast 6th Avenue, RTW connection for permit.
Good evening.
GH, okay, so we have H. What?
Um,
Okay, so what?
So G is the main and H is H is H is the main and G is the sub-permit.
RTW connection for permit. Okay, so then we needed to do 5H first.
Mhm.
Okay, so that
Is the roof-
re-roof. Evening, all right. Re-roof shingles, all right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I said that.
All right, so this is for a shingle roof.
Yes, sir.
So do we have an engineer letter?
Yes, sir.
You're the engineer?
That's me. That is
Yep,
correct.
Good
Yes,
evening.
sir.
All right, so,
Or David says anything, you want to walk us through what you saw, what your investigation?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That will be very revealing in fact. So this home is 99 years old. It's been built as a Spanish missionary home with a flat roof and this architectural Spanish features around the perimeter. At some point in the past, slope roof was built over this. We could not locate any drawings whatsoever or any evidence of a structural design, so to speak. So the roofer engaged us to come visit, inspect. We actually had to crawl into that former over the former flat roof to get up into the now what's attic space, which is really, there's a double attic there to begin with. It's one for the original house, and now it's a second one between the flat roof and the slope roof to measure the size of the rafters, the size of the ridge beam, which is a 1x6, and to look at the connections over the wall. And I performed a rational analysis based on the chapter 16 and loading conditions that exist there. And the current member, which are 2x6s span 24 inches apart, will be overstress in bending, which for a brittle material that the tile is, it's not acceptable by the code. So I could not sign off, so to speak, on structurally to agree that the additional loads imposed by the weight of the tile and the 30-90 components of the tile roof will safely, I shouldn't say it's not safe, it's just going to cause bending over stress. And you go see, I just drove by in a way here from Sunrise, that a lot of the older homes, unfortunately, they have this, bending, especially at the ridge line, and so are the front rafters in many of the homes that already have tiles, and that's going to happen. And for me as a designer, it's a liability that I can't afford to take because the numbers don't lie, and I want to keep a good relationship with the homeowner and not being potentially legally liable for any of the sagging down the road upon loading up the roof with tiles, having the life load people installing those tiles. And for me, was a clear no.
Okay. Do we have a letter from you that's
Yes,
your
sir.
report?
It's been supplied, including again today to the young lady.
Did you get something submitted? I don't see it here in the
It's-
packet.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be more than happy to resend it digitally signed tomorrow.
So it would be on page,
It has a sign that's there.
Yeah, but I think that's from the roofing.
That's the roofing material engineer. I don't think that's the actual.
We don't have what we're looking.
I can show it and maybe it would be easier just to scroll.
Yeah, no, it's fine. This PDF's not in that package. Okay. I can re-upload it. No, another thing is that you have this also because one of the requirements is photos. So I was scrolling through, there are no photos in this, but because this is missing. It may just be missing in what we're looking at, not necessarily that it's not in this.
Was it possibly uploaded after the Dropbox was sent out
so they sent an updated one today.
today? Okay. So just to run it through,
I'll go ahead and forward it.
Sorry, it's a few pages in his letter.
okay. So you're a Florida State engineer.
Yes, sir.
You did an inspection.
Correct.
You did your letter and you presented the board with photographs and you explained why the structure cannot support a stone roof.
The
or
additional
tile.
loading, yes, sir.
Okay, so we have everything we need. Okay, Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries. Thank you, sir, for coming in. We appreciate
My
your time.
pleasure. And I'm trying to answer the previous point as well on the roof to
Huh?
wall aspect.
Yeah,
I'm just voting on 5H right now. So,
No, because the actual structural value is less than $300,000, which is the threshold limitation by the 7068 from the existing building. So it should, in my opinion, should not be
no,
subject.
we're voting on 5H.
and again, the building department will review that application from a zoning point of view.
Okay.
The roof to wall connections, I don't think we care. I mean, these are internal to the structure.
And that's the 5G, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is that a zoning thing?
It's not a zoning purview issue. It's really just a building
I
department
don't like the color of
of the roof to wall connections. Yeah.
of the Simpsons.
So I mean, motion to approve, really.
It's not really us. It's not. Okay.
Yeah, but for the
So-
record, I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't mean to cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
It shouldn't even be subjected to that roof to wall requirement of a 7068 from the existing building because the value of the structure from the property appraiser is less than $300,000. Which
Yeah, and that's what
the
I'm saying. All
threshold.
these which are Florida building code topics.
So you only do the zoning and the
Yeah,
appearance.
that'll be
Got
the
it.
building department. They'll have.
Understood.
Thank you very much.
So on.
For our purposes, motion.
Do we want to vote on it? 5G, since we
Yeah,
have it?
I mean, it's here.
Okay. Okay, Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, so we approved it, even though it's not really a zoning issue.
Set from our end.
Yes.
To the building department after this.
Got it.
but-
And I want to thank you and thank
Yeah,
the
thank
the resident homeowner for working with us on this issue. I know it's a little bit of something, so have a good night. All right, so next will be 6D, 959 Northeast 115th Street. replacement of garage door, Ward, Alba.
Yep, so my old garage door wore out and no longer can I bring my bicycle or motorcycle in and out very easy. So we're replacing it and they're gonna put in a hurricane approved three panel, two on the outside and insulation on the inside. And there should be the wind regulations stuff there.
for us, yeah.
Same color, same design, slightly different. It has two panels instead of three.
Motion to approve.
You have the garage studio next door? Is that your property? No?
Yeah. I'm catty corner to the kitty park.
Got it. Okay.
Second?
Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, great, thanks.
So from us, it still goes through the building department
Okay.
and they'll review the wind load calcs and all the engineering aspects separately.
Okay, and then
Approved, I think Denisha will let you know.
You heard what he said about.
is that what happens? I get an email or do I need to
I think.
Yeah, you should get an email that says that it's ready to like pick up.
from the,
It's an
Yeah.
auto-generated email from the OpenGov website that you uploaded the permit to.
okay,
It'll notify you that there's been a change, so your status.
Two more on it.
Obviously gets approved, you pay for it. all that good stuff.
and when might I
No, but I'm
expect
saying
that
I only
to
have two more
notify the
circles.
garage
Guys,
guys?
save somebody within.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Denisha because she knows more than we do, but I think building usually reviews on Fridays. Is that the story lately?
Did they review on?
He's curious.
More or less what time?
ETA After us, when it goes through building and structural, like when he can expect an approval or.
As of now, they can at least, it depends on what's going on. As of now, there is a backlog with structural, so, yeah, so it just depends on what's
Hard
going
for
on.
any.
Yeah,
Look at it.
exactly. So
it's a
maybe
Third party inspection.
like a week maybe
plan
or-
Review, so,
Okay,
yeah, hopefully it's quick for you, but.
all right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. All right, we have 6E, 11001 Northeast 9th Avenue. For driveway. Cortez Paulette, is that?
No drawing or anything.
Oh, is pause out?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have something?
What?
I'm asking if, the Dropbox has nothing, so I'm asking if there's any.
So they have them with them, their proposed plans.
You have a copy of what you're doing, because we don't.
We do. I
Okay.
I can give it to you. But also we might need your help. You guys have the attachment for the warranty deed, correct?
We just have
House
a
affidavit.
permit application and a affidavit.
On this case, considering we're trying to use the property line as much as we can so we can have a usage of the property for parking space at the driveway. But with code, it doesn't meet the requirements for, it does meet the requirements for coding for the 40%, but it does have some parts that we don't know whether the AstroTurf will help us meet the 40%. What's the percentage of the AstroTurf within the square footage? I think it's up to,
Well, it's part of the improved, it would be an improved surface. I mean, it's after.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
but what you'll see is they're doing the typical, like the large concrete block,
Block.
and then there's the 4-inch gap of, which, usually negligible in its value, percentage either way.
But are they maintaining the 30-foot or 30-inch? I'm
Nothing
sorry.
is dimension, it's
Yeah.
more like a picture idea,
There's no improvement.
yeah.
yeah, there's no,
This-
I left
You
it
would
there.
need probably, yeah, okay, so she has some. calcs.
But those are, I'm not sure how accurate would it be to meet the last numbers within the design. But we
you
just want to
getting-
know,
Are you getting rid of the roof carport or?
Yeah, at the beginning, yes. It's in bad conditions.
So there's
Okay.
two. there's
We
two
were
carports.
thinking-
There's one in well, the survey says, I don't know. The survey shows like a square carport in front of the house,
mhm,
and then like a linear carport on the side of the house. are both still existing?
Yes,
Yeah.
no,
So-
we don't know whether,
We're gonna keep them or not, but right now they're both.
existing, well, if one of them flew away, so they're like half not in, half in.
The other thing,
kind
just
of thing.
for information. Yeah, because right now on one of those options, it looks like you're going like all the way down the side of the house with those concrete blocks.
Right,
So you have two different criteria here you have to deal with, but one is your total, your entire property, every improvement, footprint of the house, those concrete driveway, walkway on the side, pool, if you have one, I don't know, anything that's not sod or landscaping can't exceed 50% of the total square footage of your lot. So just looking at option 2, which has like the sidewalks going, looks like a lot of concrete. I don't know that you'll stay under the.
which sidewalk, would you show it?
There's one option that you've got like walkways going down the side, this one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I'm just saying, if that were that, it looks like now you got a lot of concrete. Yeah. So the only thing is at some point we'll need, like, I don't think you'll be able to prove these times what you have. But we need dimensions of all this, right? You need to make sure you show a dimension. Well, the survey, I can understand what your existing property looks like, but I can't calculate what all this new.
That's what I'm kind of doing right now.
Honestly, it's such a small, no, but she's asking the AstroTurf.
Well,
I would just treat the whole driveway as an area, so. You're trying to calculate the area of your driveway.
Oh, I found that I didn't know that the total surface area is, so to get, I haven't even.
So your total has to be under 5,137 for everything for the entire house, including up to the property, right? Just your house. I don't know exactly what it's listed at online. I don't think that. That's on the front. Oh, this is on the front door. What is this? What is this here? 75. Swale has to be under. Everything, improved. Yeah. Anything improved. Yeah, so like, the gaps are gonna be considered improved because it's kind of hard, well, unless you put grass. We're gonna kind of just look at what the outside is, right? So that has to be under 900, that has to be under this number. 996. And then, but then the other part too, just to pay attention to, because you have the house and then you have the pool and all this, and this is what he was saying about doing all of this type of stuff, is that overall, you can't go above 50%, which is 5,137, right? I kind of did a little bit of a guesstimation on your house of being around 2,400 square feet. But so you have to have that in mind, especially if down the road you want to change patios around the pool or anything like that. You don't want to make too crazy of a driveway and then you can't do anything else if you ever wanted. They have a pretty wide. I mean, yeah, it's 10,275. No. Yes.
So if you were to say, here's your property line. This area here cannot exceed 996 square feet. And then the part that goes to the street, we're saying can't go over 900. Which means you have two approaches, so.
Okay, so before we go there, my main concern is that to me, this is not because as not right now, I think it's enough time. gates, I'm sorry. So the small gates is blocked, so. I didn't get it. I stepped out. So I guess that's about. Enter and.
Yeah.
But now, considering all of this, I might get it, I have to. Wondering.
One of the safest neighborhoods.
I know, so that's
In
why.
Miami-Dade County, so
that's
you
why
should
we
be
bought
investing
it.
certainly.
That's why we
And
bought
but also knowing that you bought into a neighborhood that doesn't allow gates in front yard, so you
Yeah,
kind of,
I know.
you kind of, bought into it knowing,
Yeah.
if you look around, there's no really gates.
Right, but we,
You know,
we know.
So,
that.
but just so you know, you're allowed to have a fence up to this point for your property. That's what you're allowed to have. You're allowed to have a hedge around the front of your property, but you have basically 3/4 of your property, you're allowed to put a fence and have your child play and your dogs and everything in your property. It's just we do not allow gates, and fences in the front of our properties. That's
The other thing that you should write on this is 30-inch side setbacks. 'Cause I heard you say like, oh yeah, we want to try and maximize our kind of being close to the property line.
Yeah, he wants. Question, if my property line is empty. Actually, yeah, let's say. Right now. No, we have a part,
Well, here's your survey with the
so.
property. The,
The hedges are not supposed to be in the right of way, so you're not allowed to have a hedge off in, you're not allowed to put a hedge up to the street, you're supposed to keep your hedge on your property line.
like.
Well, that's a hedge, like that's a hedge.
Right.
I mean, if you wanna have landscaping like trees and palms and things like that in your right of way, you're allowed to do that. But a continuous row of shrubs, which there's an actual definition of what a hedge is, it's supposed to stay on your property and not be in the right of way. Where you work. So, yeah. so
Yes,
like-
it's
like
where
let's say
it's 30 feet from the street.
Like here's the trunk of these palms or these shrubs. So if you put your property line like right there, you would be able to have.
You will be okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, if you see how this is 30 feet, if you walk 30 feet or measure with a tape measure or whatever, 30 feet from the road, then that's where your property line is. You can't have a road.
Oh, from the road.
Mhm.
30 from the road.
Well, 33 from the house or 30 from the road, whichever way you want to do it, it's the same.
Yeah, property line is 33.
The part that I was telling him to just write on here for you to know is that you have to have 30 inches in from side property. For any of these, so whatever, you can have bushes on the property, but for having the actual driveway, it has to be 30
So
inches.
if you're looking at this drawing, let's just say that this is your property line. So the driveway has to be minimum 30 inches from the property. Can't be any closer than 30 inches. 30.
Okay, yeah, so probably, like that, so.
Yeah, so you'd be
Yeah,
fine.
so this is, all of this is considered. That
Well,
was-
you have to, the driveway has to have a 30-inch setback
I-
minimum. So if you're at 5,
Okay.
you're fine.
Okay. One other question. If, we make this grass. As is. Would it, he doesn't like this design. So if he leaves this design.
Yeah, so you have two separate dimensions here. You have 40% on your right, on your property, and then you have a 40% on the right. So you can't combine, you can't say, okay, we're gonna do 20% here and add 60 over here. It's two separate dimensions. Because this is village property, this is your property.
And if I were to put, this side, doesn't care about.
The hedges and all that, as long as you're doing stuff inside your property, you can make the whole thing.
And if eventually we're gonna go sidewalk, I mean,
Yeah, my recommendation would be come back to do that later if you're going to decide to do that later, just because you may decide after you finish this, oh, we want to redo a part by the pool, and if you use up your full 50%, then later on, in order to add something to the pool, you'd have to subtract something from somewhere else. It would be expensive. You would do that down the road, yeah, whenever, if it's a year from now, 6 months.
or this.
Well, we're not, first of all, this is really a discussion item because you really didn't come in to
Right.
apply for anything. You just came in to discuss it with us. So we're not voting on anything. So whatever you're gonna decide on doing, you're gonna come back, reapply for the, you'll re-upload it for the next, in 2 weeks.
They'll probably have you change some of the application that's, because for instance, you guys said, oh, the project's gonna cost $1,500, and that's gonna be a lot more than $1,500.
That's between them and the building.
Yeah, but-
Last time I was. He made, were you guys on the board here?
You were at a commission meeting the last?
Yeah,
You
that
were-
was
this
a
is planning
different
and
group
board
of
meeting.
humans.
Two different meetings,
Yeah.
two different boards.
Yeah.
So, my husband knows that, so the workers or the owner of the is. It's not.
Yeah, we don't care. We're not gonna be the people that are gonna look at that and say that's more than a $1,500 project. That's I was just saying like, hey, when it gets over to the building department.
Because your permit fees are probably based on the value of your improvement. So if you're saying it's only $1,500, our building, whoever's doing the approval. of
Okay.
The building permit is gonna look at it and go, no, you need to pay the value of whatever the improvement is. Now, you might have a deal and you're getting it as a side thing that you're.
Okay.
But that'll be between you and.
Okay, so as when you stop by Village Hall in regards to into this project, it was told to you that you would have to use how much it will actually cost, not how much you're actually paying. So if this was an extra, no, I understand that, but you would have to, okay, so this is just the job estimate. So this would have to be the industry standard for the job estimate that would be having to place as your actual cost on the application. Even if so this is the thing, it's just a job value cost. So this is how much it will cost based on industry standard, not what you're actually paying. That comes after. Again, this is just the initial application because again, it's gonna go through the building department for further review. And if there is any issues, they will reach out to you.
Yeah. They base the permit on the value of it, not so much how much you paid for it. So, yeah. All right.
Still my paper.
Ma'am, can I just ask, is this regarding the driveway?
It's regarding other homes that it's not meeting the 33 property line. Just so for our understanding, let me see if I have the papers here. Can I give it to you or should so I can show you the image?
I don't know. Are you debating the 30-inch or, I'm sorry, I don't understand what your question, you can please.
If
what's your question?
I know
Other house.
it's not negotiable, but
That-
other properties are measuring 40 feet. So I just want to know if it's something, it's not negotiable property lines, I'm assuming.
No, I mean,
Because other houses have-
30 inch. I mean, you don't even have a design and you want to negotiate, you're trying to
No, no,
prove
no.
that another property does? does not.
We wanted to understand how it works.
Okay.
So we would wanted to
please bring it
know.
up.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
That's what you're actually. That makes sense. Oh. sorry. Yeah.
So. So this probably, this, they most likely have a 30-foot setback here and a 30, it most likely, because if you look at the walkway, it's probably here, so they probably have a 30 feet setback here. Okay, so there's two, what, you just used the word garden, so you can landscape up to the street. You can have shrubs, you can have flowers and things like that. The issue is the word hedge. So if the hedge, yeah, so the hedge has to stay on your property, okay? So. Oh, so there's a removal issue with that's a county.
This will, like that goes for the thing, they'll have like experiences and all that. You want to put in. So that's the reason why I was just saying he was having, that's what I said, it's just depending on what options he's going again. I'm not
So,
sure that-
yeah. Yeah. No, but no, it's okay. And it's just, just keep, what I'm saying is that you are allowed to landscape out to your house, obviously you don't want to go right up to the street, but if you were to put low shrubs and flowers, you can go into the right of way. It's just that when you start planting like a Calusia hedge, it needs to stay on your property, or you need a ficus hedge or whatever hedge it needs to stay on. But if you want to have other forms of xeriscape and landscaping out into the right of way, you're allowed to do it. The right of way just has limitations on the amount of, you can't have rocks and, columns and things like that. There are ways of putting beautiful landscaping in the front of your house that without having to do a hedge. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yes. I don't think there is a height for hedges. Where'd that be at?
Me pregunto mi papeles.
Okay, so it says fences, walls, and hedges, location. So it says fences, walls, and hedges may be located in any yard up to the property line, therefore. No such wall, fence, or hedge shall extend over the property line and into or over the official right of way for the full height of the wall, hedge, or fence. Meaning it has to stop at your property line, okay? Must have the visibility triangles, but it doesn't really just dictate about the height of a hedge. There's really no height, but it just says it can't be on the right of way. It has to be on your property line.
I
So,
guess it's good that it doesn't have a
me,
height.
the way I read it is you can have a 20-foot hedge as long as it's on your property.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah, but it has to be on your
No
property.
further
It can't be over into the right of way.
Perfect.
Depending on how high the hedges are.
So but you're talking about adding a hedge, not removing a hedge.
Take them up.
I guess what she's trying to explain is that, the hedge right now, it's inwards, so it's not actually at the
On your
property
property.
line.
Okay.
So we want to move it back where it's where the property line is.
You want to move it out towards the
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
Okay, so that's where you start entering into the right of way. So that's not allowed.
No,
Now, if you want to leave the hedge and then put other plants in front of the hedge in the right of way, you're allowed to do that.
right, it's just that it's not in, the hedge is not in the property line. We just want to place it exactly where the 33, if I'm not mistaken, it's 33 or 34, 33 point something. What, is there a right number
Yeah,
specific?
as long as it doesn't extend over into the property or into the right of way, you're allowed to do that. But you're at what, 20, 30 feet back from the street?
What's the property line, 34 number?
I'm sorry, you took the survey, so I don't have it anymore. There's nothing and we don't have anything on our Dropbox.
Oh.
Oh, that's all right. So it's saying 30 feet. No, it's the center of right of way. The best way to do it would be to go from the front of your house, because your survey says the front, it's 33 feet. So it says, here's the front corner of your house, here's your three. Oh. Well, on one side, your house is 33.22 and the other house, it's 30.74. So it's 33 feet, basically. So as long as you measure out there and it's 33 feet, you should be fine. Yeah, yes. All right. You're welcome. Anytime. All right.
Okay, so 6E was moved to a discussion.
Oh, I gotta get a motion to table, because there really was nothing that we,
Second.
okay. We need designs. We don't have anything to vote on, so. David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, next is 6G, 11150 Griffin Boulevard, RIP wrap seawall. Good evening, ma'am. Thanks for waiting.
No problem.
All right, so you are doing a seawall on the canal. Right now, it's just a shoreline with a deck kind of
Right.
overextending.
There's a dock on one side of the property. And basically, we're just trying to square off the lot. It's kind of irregular.
Yeah, you're one of those ones that goes out into the middle of in the water. Well, actually, it's not in the middle, but it goes out into the water.
Right, so it's not the middle of the canal, but it is.
It's out there.
They do own submerged lands, correct?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get to what you want to do, because I'm seeing a lot of coral rock shoreline. Is there an actual plan showing where the proposed wall is going to be? Or-
So if you look at S2, the entire property right now has a riprap shoreline. There's no seawall there. It's what we call an unconsolidated shoreline. And what we're trying to do is straighten it out.
Yeah, so S2 has a section.
No, S3 has a section.
I see,
Wait,
it's actually a plan, okay.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing 'cause it's a section, but I see. So you're basically going out like 20 feet.
At that side, yes. We took the furthest point on the left
Yeah,
side.
yeah. What happens to your neighbor's property?
So,
Drawing looks nice, it's a straight line out.
Yeah.
but does that work in-
so, the right side will be blended back in. that corner, on the right side corner. On the left side, we're not doing anything, but they actually have a seawall that they put in, I think like 3-4 years ago.
Is there a parallel permitting process you have to go?
We went to DERM, and because these are non-tidal waters, there's no DERM permit required. I believe we submitted an email we have from DERM stating that. I applied to the South Florida Water Management. South Florida Water Management bumped me to DEP. DEP is trying to figure out if they need to permit it or not.
Yeah, we had a little conversation prior to the
Yeah.
meeting and basically we always refer this to South Florida Water Management to make sure that they get their blessing. Because you don't want them to come back and say that you're blocking the
Oh,
the
no,
flow of the
nobody
water.
wants, that's one of
but
the
it-
worst agencies to do.
But as far as our zoning goes, we're fine on this. But it's up to them to get South Florida Water Management. I believe it is approval. I'm still not really clear on the exact location of this. I'm looking at S1 of 4,
That's two.
S2 of 4. Is that the one?
It looks like a section when you first look at it, but it's not. It's a plan. So.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay.
I first thought it was a section.
I thought it was a section. Okay.
It's a plan, which is why I asked on the right-hand side, what are you doing there? Because it's a nice straight line.
Yeah, but then all the fill's gonna end up in the canal.
But obviously it doesn't really work. You've got to blend that back. You're jutting out now into the canal on the, I guess that would be the north side. Right? The property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does it line up with the neighbor on the other side?
It doesn't now. It just juts out.
It will be about 20 feet out from
Yeah.
the neighbor. Because right now the property lines kind of connect.
Oh, isn't that side where the flow comes down from the above?
It's like-
Will there become like a situation where things will build up on the one
So
side?
the state would not let me do that. That is part of the
There's
state
the-
permitting from the environmental point of view. We will have to do water flow assessments there because we can't put a stop.
So this obviously wouldn't be a straight line, right? It's gonna be. a riprap.
So is the S1 of 4, is that the way that it's actually going to be? Like a-
S1 is actually what it looks like now.
So this is,
That's what I'm saying. This neighbor almost.
oh, okay. So this is,
Widen up. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, the canal is actually very wide. They own
the
like
wood
30
deck's kinda
feet.
going away?
I'm sorry?
The wood deck is gonna.
Yeah, the wood deck is gonna be removed.
1115, it's big concrete,
That's the new house they're building.
big. Wow. So are you the latest, are you the owner or are you?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Like you're the next in the parade of owners.
No.
for that.
Have there been a lot?
Well, this is the concrete thing that's.
Yeah, yeah.
for-
I understand that they want to replace the wood deck that we'd have to come back before.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
it would be, again, it's one of those weird things because there's the setback property line is out into the middle of the canal. It's more of a making sure that the dock is a derm thing where, it's a great thing. Isn't,
I've been doing
The
this for
property
30
next
years
door-
and I was actually very surprised when I looked up Durham records to find that Griffing is not controlled by Durham. The property next door, which is 11140, they came before you a couple years ago and they also provided a letter saying there's no Durham review for this site. I was very surprised.
yeah, so, it's a South Florida Water Management District. So I guess my concern is that if you're gonna be out beyond the property line on the,
No, we're not going beyond the property line.
no, not property line, I'm sorry, you're beyond the shoreline of your neighbor.
Yes.
I know that and I'm just thinking out loud because is this gonna create an issue where when water flows down, it can actually flow into the property of the neighbor if the neighbor is lower than this new proposed,
Well, the water, we're not going to be able to stop the water and cause it to come up over his shoreline any more than it does now.
Okay. But if it's jutting out and it's almost creating a wall, is it the water
So
gonna?
that, I can revise the plans and show that it will be gradual. It's not going to be like a sharp corner.
Okay. Because that would be my concern, is because I know that we're concerned about the neighbor the neighbor was, when this house was being built, was concerned that this house is up higher and that the water, when rainwater would come down, it would flow into their yard because their yard is lower than the new house.
So.
I'm wondering if this new wall is going to provide like a conduit for
So,
flooding.
I am assuming that in whatever house plans you did, there was some kind of retaining wall between the two properties and,
We asked them to add a switch
between the two.
to actually collect, right? So they added in their site plan, a little section showing us whether they build it with.
I
That's how
have
we
nothing to do
mitigated
with the
that
other.
issue.
Okay,
Um,
because most cities, require in their zoning code for all rainwater to remain on your property that.
Yeah.
We did provide for that, but this is not rainwater, this is canal water.
Yeah, I
you know.
think Gage is just saying that the neighbors already expressed
Concern.
with that issue. Now we're just anticipating their concern with this new,
So
section.
the grade on this is going to be whatever the finished grade that is on the house that's already approved. It really shouldn't change anything and.
It does though, because you're adding more land. So it changes
We-
the way that the water flows.
We are adding more land, but not with the way the water flows. Like. the
But we don't
rain,
know
whenever
that. We have no
raise-
information to see that whatsoever. And if you want to provide that, then that would be great. And also, just, I don't know, my opinion is that, I would definitely want to see the water management district's approval and or even just comments before we can
Yeah,
opine.
So I can provide you the email from South Florida Water Management saying they're not handling it and sending it to DEP.
Yeah, which is
Then we want to see DEP's comments.
Absolutely. We're in the permit process with DEP currently.
Yeah, I think we're a little premature on our
Okay.
approval.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much more we can do than ask for those other agencies, right? Because we don't really have zoning code that speaks to.
Right, yeah, I think that that's appropriate because that this is a little bit beyond what we have the capacity and, expertise
Understand.
to review, so we would definitely need to see that before we can.
Absolutely. Is there any other concerns that I should address in my next submittal?
I mean, definitely the drainage, yeah, the drainage comments, yeah. Yeah.
So drainage, but you did say that when you approved the house permit, there was comments or there were acquisitions that you guys made to allow for this house to be way higher.
Drainage is on a plan to depict the real, how you're going to handle the south side. or the
Okay.
north side rather. So obviously this plan is not quite. an
Okay.
actual depiction. I'm not so concerned about the water if the other agencies.
Well, it's just like, like if I'm looking at your S204, if the water line of the neighbor is back, I don't know if you have the drawing in front of you.
Yeah, it is.
If you're looking at it says 12 foot 11 and you
Yep.
can see so between where the number 11 is at and your new wall, is that exposed side fill that's going to be exposed to the canal or
No,
exposed to the?
I
neighbor
will
to the-
revise, I will have my
That's what
engineer
I'm
revise
asking
the
here.
plans.
Really, that riprap that she's showing.
Is not
on
going
the
to go
west
straight across.
Is
the
gonna have
property.
to turn in back towards the land, so it's gonna be around.
It's gonna have to, yeah, it's gonna have to tie into the neighbors.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
That's what I'm concerned is that buildup zone right there is, and what is that elevation gonna be? Cause you just said the elevation of the new house. So if the new house is at base flood,
Well, no, not the new house, the new backyard that's already approved, and I believe it's +6 NGVD. That's their final grade for the backyard.
okay,
I will verify that with the architect though, for the house.
okay.
So no, we're not coming up to the house.
Right, and then that would be you end up with this thing on the canals.
You're not doing a seawall, just riprap.
Right.
Okay. So we had Scarlett's concern, and do we want to make a motion on that? Do we just table this until we get this additional
Yeah, I mean. I think
approval?
need to be tabled until they have all the regulatory agencies.
And we'll be the final gatekeeper kind of, okay. It's not that we're against it, it's just, we want to, we were trying to look out for your neighbor, to make sure that we don't end up having this situation where the neighbor is gonna, the next, king tide is, or whatever is gonna come yelling at us that, we approve something that, that's causing their house to be flooded. So, so is that a motion, Scarlett?
Yeah, yes, the motion to table.
Okay.
For further.
Scarlett, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. I say we're gonna table it just
Do you
for,
have a sense of, good luck, I guess, predicting DEP's timeline, but
I am actually going back and forth with DEP right now on how far they're allowing us to reclaim, because what happens is only users are gonna allow to go. So whether their property owner in the town means nothing to say, you have to use it in, X years, it reverts back to Steamboat.
so, so what you have here may ultimately change because of your, yeah. But sure, but it's subject to change with what you're negotiating with DEP, all the more reason why you'll see the final version.
But it's good that I came.
are you Corzo? Okay, and then what is it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, listen,
And everybody has different. Thank you.
Thanks for waiting and appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, next, 11503 Northeast 11th Place, removal of concrete slab, Corzo. All right.
Ooh, drawing by any chance, like a survey?
Yeah,
We don't have, I don't have it.
yeah, I
Sometimes
actually
I
sent all
read
that
all these
information to the,
Voted it.
I uploaded, I email it, I sent it,
We don't have it.
and yeah, because I'm sorry to say, very frustrated dealing with the city sometimes, because even if you send it and you upload it, stuff like that.
But- And we approved your driveway last time.
We're all for, so your survey actually doesn't show it because we didn't have it. This is new. This is all.
But we approved,
But so you poured this slab.
Yeah, I got the permits and everything, but it's the same thing that you.
Yeah, this was permitted before,
Yeah.
now you wanna remove half.
Just because, not half,
The
actually,
front
not
half,
even-
or
no,
whatever
not
it is.
even half, it's like a third. Yeah, if you look at it, let me show you this picture so that way you can see exactly what it is.
Big slabs is usually pretty.
but
easy
we
to
are,
fix
but,
it.
but I think it was the last meeting, we approved the driveway on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so
That's
this
correct.
is-
So
this-
I
It has
don't know.
nothing to do with that. This-
No, and I don't know why I'm here for the driveway again, that they're telling me that I have to pay $50 or something again for the driveway when that was.
But you're not on the agenda.
I don't know. I'm here just because I have payment. I mean, they put that I owe $50 for this and another $50 for something else, but I don't know exactly what's going on. And like I said, it's really, I'm to a point that I'm very frustrated just because I've been dealing with this since January. And it's something so easy that it's taking too long just to get something approved. And dealing with permits and things like that is, I'm so sorry. I know that is not you guys because you, every time I come to the board meeting or speak to you, you always are very helpful, but I only see you at this point. After this, I have to depend on them. And I already have,
Village or.
well, the difference is that I just dealt with Miami Beach and it was so much easier than dealing with the city here. So that's my issue. Just because the communication and everything is very,
But you did get communicated that we approved the driveway that we talked about that time you came in.
yeah, I
Over
got.
on the right-hand side of
I
your
got,
property.
I got
You approved
everything.
it.
Everything, you approved it and everything, and I submitted my permit, but now it shows that I have to pay $50 again for the driveway, which I have no idea what that means.
Okay, but we're not looking at that now. We're just looking at.
We're just,
Slab removal.
wants to remove this slab.
That's the only thing that I mean, and I don't,
Hold on. I agree. We got-
Okay, so the thing is this, you're not coming for two driveway permits, they just fall under the same category. So even though you see driveway at the top of the permit, does not mean you're coming in for a driveway.
Okay, that's fine, but I
This
don't
is
know
just for the
why-
removal of the concrete slab. The original driveway permit, it was approved at the last meeting. It was just pending that you had to pay the $50 planning board fee to be.
Why, if I already paid for that?
It was not paid.
Yes, it was. Before I came, I paid because the office told me that I could not be put in the agenda unless I paid for that fee. So I did pay for that.
Okay, so that's something with the,
Ugh.
we just are gonna,
It's not you guys, it's just frustrating.
But
It's very
tonight-
frustrating.
Tonight you have an application
That is
remove
approved.
this slab.
slab. I think there was a motion, or if not, motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay.
Approved for that. There will probably be a $50 fee for that.
I already paid for that.
Okay. Well, hopefully-
I'm paying before coming because they always say that in order for you to be able to be in the agenda, you have to pay. So that's
I'm
why
just gonna ask you to please scan and upload this picture into the,
I did.
okay, because we don't have it on our Dropbox.
I did and I
Let me
emailed it
just,
to
I'm
the-
gonna
to the
scroll through
city.
really quick again. I don't see it on my Dropbox. But if this is very clear, you have little X's.
And
is
that's
what we
exactly
approved.
what I did, and I did it actually maybe 2 months ago.
So we have, you were approved, so you can remove the concrete. Thank you.
Thank you so
But
much.
you just have to work out the fee with the village department, please.
Here and you're always willing to talk about stuff like that, but we talk to you guys only once a month for a little. We have to deal with the city to be able to do all this. So when they're taking 6 months just to do a paper, it's very frustrating.
It's always helpful to just go in person, right? It's not
Oh,
gonna-
I
it's
do.
not gonna go
I
into
do.
something
No,
else.
I do. I have to follow up because unfortunately, they only review the emails a week before the meeting. And it has happened because I submit everything to the portal, which it is a nightmare to do. So when I do it, I also send it to the city the same day that I do it because I never get a confirmation. But then for me to be able to know if they get it, I have to go. And I have gone and they're like, we don't have anything from you. I'm like, I sent it to you a week ago. Oh, let me take a look. So you see where my frustration, you know?
Yeah, but there are lots of stuff going on, so
I'm sorry.
have a little
We're
patience.
less than 3,000 residents. So for them, and then they take an hour of lunch and they leave at 12
Where-
o'clock. And the reason why they said that they're closing at 12 o'clock on Friday is because they wanted to have a gap to be able to work on this stuff. And they don't do that because you come here at 12 o'clock on a Friday and that opens.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Trying to get on with our meeting. Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks for waiting. We appreciate it. Okay, I have minutes from, oh, sir, are you on for anything? Or are you just watching? What's the address? 6J? Oh, okay. All right. All right, so 11806 Northeast 8th Avenue, Pool Justice, right? Okay, let's go back to that. All right. Okay, it's in the rear. We got 19 feet from one side, 19 from the other, and 48 in the rear. So it's setback, looks fine. Lot coverage is, I'm sure it's fine because it's a huge lot. I'm at I'm looking at a drawing A-2. It's the very last drawing. This is the right one, 11806 Northeast 8th Avenue. Is there a lot coverage calculation?
Yes.
Yeah, they're 40%.
40%? Is that shed existing, sir? The shed is existing?
Existing, yes.
Okay. All right. Was that a motion? Yeah, a motion, David?
A second.
Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, you're approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to wait, so.
You're the last item on the agenda.
Normally,
Literally the last item, so. All right, so next, let's get back up to the top of the agenda. Sorry that somebody outburst on you, but sure you must deal with that all the time. The previous person. All right, I have minutes from April 15th, 2024. You have a hard copy of it? I'm looking at the April 15th meeting. Approved tables. 9. Which one's 610?
Just curious, in the additions and all that stuff, do we have to tighten everything up if we move something from new business at the old business, or can we just leave that by the?
What are you referencing?
If you look here, right, it's just a lot of pricing for her, but she moved all of the 6 items, the level 6 items up one when we moved something from new business to old business from 6I to 5C. So then everything else got moved forward. So I'm just saying in the future, can we just then leave 6I as blank, like an empty floor on an elevator? And then she doesn't have to make a ton of other changes.
I'm fine with that, because like right now I'm looking at what we approved. The 6M on the thing was a carport, Sebastian Agostino. So,
Really, that's.
oh, it got moved up to 6L now. Okay.
I see. So all of it.
Everything got moved up, 6 approved. So the one that was tabled was 113070. By the way, was that carported? Did he ever go forward with that with building officials? I'm just curious to know.
Yeah.
Is this the Amazon carport?
Held down with duct tape.
Yeah,
hope that.
so 6R, which is 1202. was tabled. Yeah, it looks. Whatever happened to that? Was it in building review?
Going with that chain link fence on Fifth Ave.
I think it's in code enforcement still, isn't it? I don't think it's come to us yet. No, the chain link fence
On Fifth Ave and 120th.
5th and 121st Street. They got cited for putting a fence in without a permit,
But they did.
but they installed it. But it never came to us.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, you're certain it's been cited though. It's not
Yeah.
like we just think it has.
No, I know it got cited during the thing.
No, that one really irritates.
So,
I usually care what people do.
can I get a motion on the April 15th, 2024 meeting minutes? They look good.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, David Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. And then next, we have the minutes from the May 6th, 2024 meeting.
So with respect to that meeting and those minutes, I got your email about the, like, after the you know, the drawing that got revised, no, I'm talking to Tanisha, the drawing that got revised for the other fence on on Fifth Avenue and 119. I wasn't really sure what the protocol was to reply because we were like weighing in on the
No, because the
approvability of the
motion,
email.
the motion was made to, it was approved, it was just to send the recommendation.
Yeah.
back to
So
you
we don't need to
guys.
weigh in on it other than, I guess, Gage needs to look at it. I don't know.
Well, you could respond back to her, but she was asking the question to all of us, but I think the drawing still was missing.
It was still missing the wording, the existing,
Just,
showing existing chain link fence, so
Yeah.
showing the distinct.
Also, my 2 cents, it shows, it's a survey, right? It shows that there was an existing chain link fence that was curved at the corner of the property. Right, that's not what's there today. The fence terminates at a right angle in that corner. So.
well, what I was looking for was any reference to the existing chain link
Yeah.
fence. I didn't even really even be on.
I guess, you know, without beating around the bush, there's a portion of the chain link fence in the front corner that is new. And that is squared off, not rounded like the survey shows. So the drawing saying, whether it says existing now, or if they put a note that says existing, it's not actually depicting the existing chain link fence.
Yeah, so my thing was, we should just not even have anything on there about the chain link. So if it's pointed or curved or whatever, now it's existing. So we're not, I was trying not to legalize the chain link fence. You know, they could come back and say, hey, they approved it, but it's basically that what you're asking for? Or?
No, what I'm saying is that the depiction of the chain link fence is not actually what exists in the view. It's not on site.
Paige, could we just one for a second go back to the 15th, April 15th, because on page
Is there something?
on the bottom of page 3 it says that I wasn't in attendance, not present. There's
So
two
this
footnotes.
was when they had did a 3 at this point of the meeting, you had stepped away to take a phone call.
Yeah, there was one,
One agenda item.
there's one that technically.
Oh, but I didn't see, okay. I didn't see that.
Voted without you, so.
I didn't see the footnote there.
Oh, out of 4.
It's just you weren't present, but
Yeah, because at the top, you're.
I could have clarified that you had stepped away from the table if you wanted me to clarify that further.
Sorry, I just don't see which one that reference.
So it references agenda item 6E.
Okay.
And then 6G. So you went so you had stepped away for a moment.
Oh, I see the tiny little thing.
Yeah. So it's next to the approved 3-0, and that's the reason why they're approved 3-0 instead of the
Yeah.
usual.
David caught that, so thank you. Catching that. All right, I have so that's clear, that you're good on that, Scarlett? Okay.
Yeah, I do remember that.
All
Yeah.
right, so I have the minutes from the May 6th. They look good. I just reviewed them with what I had written, so unless anybody has a comment. Okay, David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right. All right, let's go back to the agenda. We have 5 D 1002 Northeast 118th Street. Again, shingle roof. He was here. Wasn't he here?
No, 5D.
Yeah, but I thought I saw him sitting over there.
No.
This is the gentleman that's been here like
No,
6 times.
no, I think that's,
Isn't that him?
Chowdhury, no?
5D, okay.
Now he's here for a re-roof, like, but I don't know. Maybe
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
maybe you're right.
A,
'Cause I do think we saw the gentleman.
C, D. The gentleman that has the little 4-carter bike that he rides around with his
I don't
wife?
know, But that Murph left them standing
Yeah.
last time. Yeah, I think I saw him at the beginning of the meeting as well.
Yeah, I thought he was here. This is not him? Refiled shingle?
Maybe he saw Murph, it's not here, and no one's
just took
here,
off.
was here. He said, I'm out of here.
Okay, so this So this is a shingle roof or somebody wants a shingle roof.
Is there a letter?
There's a color, but if there's a letter, there's no engineer here. Is this the engineer this is the one that had the like two different dates?
Yes, it is.
One-
Oh, wait, okay,
It's the same letter,
page.
December 20th, but I would visit on the March 13th.
Yeah.
Is the motion to table?
Okay, I wish the guy could get his roof done. I mean, I really feel bad. But we had an example of what the code says and what you need to do. But I don't even see a letter here, do I?
Feel bad for that dude if he's crawling in roof spaces. Man, it's very tall to be crawling in roof spaces.
All right, so I have a motion to table this again. Okay, David Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries the table.
All right. Unless you think denying will get him to show up.
Huh?
Unless you think denying it will get him to show up.
What, last time he was here, we tabled it? That was the outcome?
Yeah, because the dates didn't line, nothing
Yeah,
lined
yeah.
up.
Okay, new business 6B, 931 Northeast 116th roof. I'd hurry.
Copper color.
Re-roof, metal and flat. Okay, so.
Inches, 3 feet.
So it's what's the pitch?
The 12. Maybe 3.5, 12.
But they have the required overhangs?
3 feet. Does, they have a picture of the color. Purple.
3 feet and 6 inches. Good Lord, how many pages is this?
80.
The color is bright copper. So it's metallic. So that tells me that it's shiny.
Control F shiny. Huh? Your control F and shiny.
Roof shall be limited to color silver, gray, brown, copper. So that's copper. White and shall not be bright or highly reflective.
Problem is they're,
Metallic copper.
yeah. Technically, it also does say bright. There's no other copper option.
Yeah, it's not like a flat copper, it's just bright copper, but gosh, why did that say bright?
I mean, it's basically the words in our code says no bright,
Yeah, no, it makes it.
bright or highly reflective, and it's actually colored bright copper.
Wait,
So
It's like we can't win.
motion to deny color can't be bright and what did it say? Something reflective?
Bright or highly reflective.
Color can't be bright or highly reflective. Terracotta is the closest color to
yeah, but
that.
then it's not what the roof.
Then it's not copper.
No, terracotta is, it's like 2 up from it, but I mean, we
What I'm
can't.
thinking is the code doesn't know terracotta is not an option.
Yeah, it's silver, gray, brown,
You're
copper.
allowed to have a terracotta tile roof and you're not allowed to have a terracotta copper roof like that.
I don't know who was on this board when this code got written, but.
I'm very proud of this. I just wish that they offered a copper roof that wasn't bright. Why does it have to say bright?
Like with a dude the other day, I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then he's like, well, here's the name of it. It's like matte black. Like, why did you have to say black? Would just be very dark charcoal.
I mean, copper roofs are great, but it's just, it's a very reflective roof.
It does, and even look at this.
Okay,
Picture
so
the-
I'm sorry, it's the motion.
Very reflective.
Cannot be bright or highly reflective.
I have a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Edward, you
motion-
don't want to attach your name to that one?
Okay, motion to deny was approved. Okay, next is 6C, 947 Northeast 117th Street, windows installation. Rodriguez Arteya. Is this in the back, looks like, for the this addition? Windows, fixed, they're all fixed type windows. And they're all in the back, they're in the rear of this house. Okay, David Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, next will be 6F, 11143 Northeast 8th Avenue, slope roof, 1 Biscayne Park LLC. We asked for all roofs just because there might be a tile or something.
It's described as a slope roof, but really it's the emphasis of slope roof. Flat.
So it's a modified minimum bitumen. And it's white. Can I get a motion, please? It says it's white.
Second.
David, Ed, or Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Next is going to be 6H, 11443 Northeast 6th Avenue, metal re-roof, Pablo Marcos. Let's see what we got here. By the way, that, that copper roof would have approved if it was just an approved color. And I mean, it looks like they met all the other requirements. Just FYI. I mean, here's copper penny metallic. It doesn't say bright. All right, so we have a 312 roof, Metal Masters. I mean, does it say actually what color this is? There's a bunch of colors, but I don't see a circle.
Thick bronze.
For real?
Dark. On page 15 of 54.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the overhangs?
They're using white green finance.
But the color chart doesn't even have it.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It just looks black.
Where is it?
It's, so it's the left, right, red.
Right next to medium bronze.
Oh, but does the overhangs, there's a lot of papers here. 42, 53, 43. 47, 48. Is there a chart with the overhangs? I don't see the page, the overhangs. What's the address of this? Oh, this is the house. Right over here. It's on the corner. It has the overhangs, but it just doesn't have this sheet.
Yeah. It does.
Funny, because the exact same house is over on 115th and 8th. Like with the little courtyard and the little detached garage thing over there. And they have a metal roof. Looks great. Okay, but I'm not seeing the required form.
Motion to approve pending the upload of fire. Oh,
Yeah, but we should table this. Huh? There's a form that has that shows the overhang and the fascia. Table. If you all.
then make the motion.
I can't.
Check. Or check.
Motion to
I just don't, getting into that approving stuff without, actually having the document.
I would have tabled the revised design earlier. Motion to table metal roof pending the overhang diagram.
Second.
Okay, David Scarlett, or Ed Scarlett, Ed Scarlett, Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? The motion carries 4-0. Table.
Based off of this.
All right, so I think we accomplished our agenda. I don't see anything else.
You accomplished something, not sure what. It's,
Huh?
we'll need a couple of drinks to figure out.
Okay, so, next meeting will be on, June 3rd and June 17th. Now, let's talk about your vacation. You're heading out when, or when are you not here? The month of July and August. How does? Okay, no, I'm just want to ask because like we're all here, so for July 1st, July 15th and August 5th, Scarlett and,
June 3rd.
well, yeah, so, but I'm just asking, so we're gonna have an issue with quorum would be the July meetings and the first meeting of August. So, I'll be here July 1st, July 15th, and August 25th. So I'm good. Those 3 meetings are you? You're good? Okay. Well, if there's gonna be, I'm just saying, if we know that David's not gonna be here. So if there's gonna be an issue, then we need to move our meetings so that the 3 of us will be here. So if you guys but if you foresee a problem, relay it so we can reschedule it. Okay. All right. So we will see everybody here on June 3rd. And any motion to adjourn? David? Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, we're adjourned at 8:50. Can you please turn off your mics?